My name is Robert Gurule, and I am the youth and associate pastor at Amazing Grace Fellowship in Pueblo West, Colorado.
Awesome. All right, let's get this started. My first question for you, Robert, is who is the person that inspired you the most to become a leader, and how did they influence your life?
I would probably say Pastor Steve Chavez. When I first wanted to get involved in ministry, he kind of took me under his wing, and I started assisting him in his youth ministry back in the day. And just was an incredible time to be under such an anointed man of God, great leader, accomplishing great things for the kingdom. And I think that's really where a lot of my inspiration came to go into pastoral leadership.
Okay, excellent. How did he really influence you? Like, what would you say was the one event that really kind of, or not event, but just like over time that kind of pushed you towards your decision?
I already knew that God was calling me to work with young people, but to be able to see a man of integrity, be able to see what he was able to accomplish really inspired me. But at the same time, he's such a dynamic leader that he had a knack for being able to identify gifts and talents in individuals, and he had a way of being able to pull them out. And so I remember a specific conversation with him where he pulled me aside and said, "Hey, Rob, I really see that you've got a pastor's heart, and I think that you would make a great youth pastor." And so one thing led to another, and the rest is history, I guess you might say.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Okay. My next question for you is, how do you, in youth ministry, how do you deal with conflict?
Oh, gosh. Conflict is something that we don't want to deal with, but yet it comes with the territory. And I've learned that the best way to deal with conflict is to just deal with it head on. Do your best not to sweep it under the rug. If when you sweep things under the rug, over time you're going to have a bigger problem. And so I've found that the best way to do it is head on. If you have a conflict with a person, you still, treat them with love, with respect. You hear each other out, but definitely, I would say you deal with it head on.
Awesome. Okay. Next question. What are the most important decisions you make as a leader?
Oh, gosh. I think the most important decisions are the little things. I think, if you have any discrepancy in your own life as a leader, even the tiniest bit, it'll be passed on to those that you follow. So I think daily it's the little things that you decide to do that really make the difference. Stuff like your quiet time with Jesus, spending quiet time with Him, spending time in the Word, making sure that you're spending time in prayer. It's those small disciplines that add up over time, and I think it's those small decisions just to simply to be a man of integrity, and in every situation, every choice that comes before you, just constantly choosing to take the high road. Those little things add up over time, and I think that's something that makes you who you are as an effective leader.
All right, thank you. What would you, kind of piggybacking on that a little bit, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing leaders today?
I would say the biggest challenge is probably not being disciplined in those small areas. And by not being disciplined in those areas, I think a lot of leaders inadvertently open themselves up to moral failure. That's a big leadership issue of the day, is, who can we believe in? Who can we trust in? Who can we follow? Who is worthy of us following their example and us falling under their leadership? The world's full of people who have failed in that area, whether it be a moral failure or maybe a financial failure or whatever the case may be. I think that's probably probably the number one issue facing leaders today is just being able to maintain their integrity and their character.
All right. Awesome. And my final question for you, Rob, is if you could give any advice to someone going into leadership for the first time, what would it be?
Stay pliable. Stay teachable. Realize that as a young leader, you don't have it all figured out. You may be gifted, but remain teachable and always seek out mentors. You're never too old to have a mentor. You're never too experienced to have a mentor. And, I try to seek out many different mentors for many different areas of my life. And, another thing that's important is, as you're being mentored, who are you mentoring? There's another generation coming up behind us. And if God has, or God or professors or other leaders have impacted you, well then in turn, what kind of impact are you making on others that are coming up as well? So stay teachable and keep learning, keep growing.
Excellent. Rob, I just want to thank you again so much for being able to do this, especially on short notice. So I'm going to go ahead and